in 1990, not only were we talking about green, we devoted a special issue of our newsletter to green, and we highlighted companies that are doing it, had all this wonderful statistics in there, and then something happened. And in this case, what happened was the recession of 1992. Now we're going back a ways, but green was this big movement. 1992 came along, consumers went into recession, and you didn't hear about green for a long, long time. So, there is the notion, as we talk about the book of Greentailing 2.0, green is hardly a new movement. It's gotten a lot of attention the last couple of years, but there we were back in 1990 extolling it. So I think we were right. We were just maybe a tad bit early in our inspiration. And when you go out there and look at how people are interpreting green, it's being interpreted in a lot of really interesting ways. I'm not a copywriter, but for the copywriters out there, think about what this statement says. And this was a full-page ad from Walmart at Earth Day in 2007. And it says, "Earth-friendly products won't save the earth if they don't save people money." Think about that. Very pragmatic and a little bit selfish. I think this was before Peter was working with them, so he's got them much more inspired now than maybe they were a couple of years ago. But here's the notion of green that says, yeah, green products are great, but unless the consumer benefits, forget about it. And then, of course, we have Barney's, Christmas of '08, and I call this trickle-down green. And Barney's put out this beautiful catalog called Have a Green Holiday, and in it was filled with these wonderful luxury goods, and they do a full-page description of it. And then at the bottom of it, in a little small print, might be a portion of the proceeds of the sales go to Greenpeace. So it's sort of like buy whatever you want, enjoy yourself, and at the end of the day there'll be some benefit. The really cool thing on this is, like, on page 1 was a $1,095 recyclable nylon tote. So you could be green for really less than $1,100, which I thought was a pretty cool thing Barney's was talking about. So you got Walmart talking about don't do this unless it's saving you money. Barney's is saying go eat, drink, be merry, and Greenpeace gets something at the end, so we're cool. And then up in Canada, you have to be careful what you wish for. Spend less. Another, I think, marketing company that might have lost the assignment after this one. The Canadian consumers, God bless them, in fact, did spend less at Loblaw. So this was a very successful marketing campaign in what they were doing. But green, obviously, here's the problem we have as marketers. If you really want to be green, it's easy. Consume less. And then we say, well, wait a second. Everybody in this room makes their living trying to get people to consume more, to buy more, to spend more. I don't necessarily want them to spend less. So you have all these messages coming out on green that are kind of in very different places. And as we were doing the research on the book, we were collecting and collating all these things about green and trying to make sense of what green looks like in the world. So that's what we're going to share with you today. Greentailing today is very broad-based. Not a day goes by where you don't see a company in the retail industry, from apparel to automotive to home improvement, that doesn't have a green initiative. So it's very broad-based in the marketplace today. And we think, and we're positing that the difference between 1990 and today is that there's a lot more substance behind green. There's a lot more drivers of change that are going to make this time, green, stick around this time. There's external factors, and the media has played a very large role in growing green out there. Competition. When Lee Scott at Walmart made a landmark speech about green, that forced a lot of other companies to take notes. So, keeping up with the companies that are the leaders is part of it. A lot of companies simply internally have taken this on as a mission. There's inspired CEOs who felt that this is not just a marketing ploy, this is important to what they're doing. And finally, the consumer. A lot of the when Andy asked the question, where do you get your inspiration from? My answer was my kids. And a lot of people had that same answer. If selfish baby boomers aren't going to be green, the one thing you can find right now is that their kids will be. So, our green practices in our house are largely driven by my kids, who are the ones who are saying, turn off that light, recycle that. If I get lazy and put a bottle in the trash, they say, no, put that in the recycling. They're learning at a young age that this is important. And that education, I think, is really going to be part of what keeps this trend going for a long time. As Kermit said, this is the part where I was going to do my interpretive dance, but I'm not going to do the Kermit. I'm not going to sing the song, but it isn't easy being green. And one of the real, would you mind doing that? We could do a duet actually together. It's not easy being green, particularly in today's society. And I think one of the fascinating things about this conference is the fact, you've got journalists, you've got live bloggers, you got things going on Twitter. Consumer product companies who try to shortcut green, or retailers who try to shortcut green, get caught, right? You don't control the media anymore. The media is everywhere, and it's all of us. And so greenwashing is a real danger. That unless green has real substance as part of it, they're going to catch you. I have